So what I understand we want to discuss today is about cross-collateralisation or crossing out the assets. Why you would do it or why you wouldn't do it. In most situations you wouldn't do it, and you would want to keep the loans as standalone facilities, okay? Because there are two reasons why you want to keep the assets separate and not cross them, okay? The first reason why you wouldn't cross, why not cross assets? The first reason why you won't cross is because you have inflexible loan structure. And I'll come to that, what I mean by that, okay? That's the first thing. And the second thing why you wouldn't cross the assets is because you because of the way the purpose of the funds are used. Purpose of funds are used. Okay? So let me go to the first one, okay? Okay, if the owner-occupied property is worth $1 million today, okay, and we borrow $800,000, okay, value, debt, okay, we've decided that we're going to buy an investment property, and the investment property is worth $1 million, okay, and we want to borrow 10% from our owner-occupied property to pay for a deposit for the investment property. So what happens is that the investment property debt becomes 900, and then you've got a third loan here for 100, okay? So you then have a total value of 2 million for both properties and a total debt of 1.8 million, okay? Right? So far, we're clear? Now, what happens if we've crossed these assets, okay, and we have a situation where we are going to sell this property that we've bought in a year's time? But you know what? Like now, the market's fallen, and this investment property is worth 800 value. We have $100,000 that we owe to the bank, okay? What happens is that the bank will not release the security, because you then have a situation where the value, because this has fallen 200, means that you've got a $1.8 million value, and how much is the debt? 1.8. So you can't get what's known as a variation of security or a release of security if the LVR is not below 90% of the value at that point in time. That's why you don't cross, okay? Clear? Yep, cool. Now, I'll just go to the second part, okay? Why you don't cross. To continue from this example, see this $100,000 here, okay? Even though it was raised against the owner-occupied property, the purpose of the funds determines if it's tax deductible or not how we use the property. So this $100,000 is used to purchase an investment property, therefore it's tax deductible, okay? If you cross them and create one big loan for $1.8 million, you cannot distinguish which debt is owner-occupied debt and not tax deductible, and which debt is investment debt and therefore tax deductible. If you cross them, create one loan against both properties, you cannot distinguish which is tax deductible debt and which is not. And that's the other reason why you wouldn't necessarily cross. I mean, there are other little bits and pieces, but these are the main reasons. Yep. So to summarize, the first main reason why you don't cross is that if in the future you sell a property, if the property is sold for more or less money than what you bought it for, you as an owner, occupier or investor with the bank will not be able to use the sale proceeds from the property if the debt does not meet the criteria that you borrowed the money against in the first place. Okay? So 80% LVR is determined on the value at that point in time. So if the value drops, the LVR increases, they won't let you release the security.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Sydney Listings Academy. Just a quick disclaimer that this advice is generic and is not to be used by individuals. We take no liability for misuse of this information and encourage you to seek out professional advice specific to your situation. Please reach out to get in touch with our network of trusted professionals if you so need it. And just before you take off, just a quick note, obviously we're working on something with the Sydney Listings Academy to help educate people about the potential in property, finance and investing. So if you want to support the Sydney Listings Academy, please share the content with friends, family and followers if you have them. And also follow Sydney Listings on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and or YouTube, wherever you like to hang out, as well as our website, and check that out for more resources as well. Thank you very much guys, and we'll see you in the next video.